Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Media News, the headlines. Value addition prompts a Zambian firm to start extracting cooking oil from maize. Green Party asks President HH to pardon prisoners facing cannabis-related offences. Join me with the media news in detail after this commercial.
Would you like to win some cool cash? Say no more. Stand a chance to win your share of 1 million kwacha. Simply make a transaction from your Zamtel mobile money account and you could be one of weekly winners of up to 10,000 kwacha. Be empowered with Zamtel mobile money. Dial *344# to activate your account. This promotion runs from 28th July to 31st October 2021. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
In other media news, in detail, Zambia Road Safety Trust Chairman Daniel Mwamba has called on government to consider investing up to 1 billion kwacha in road safety to reduce the number of accidents being recorded in the country. This call comes after 9 deaths have been recorded in a road traffic accident that happened on the evening of 9th October 2021 along Great North Road at Chingwere Turnoff area in Lusaka, involving 3 vehicles. Statistics from the Zambia police show that the country has lost 937 lives in the first and second quarter alone from road traffic accidents, mainly caused by excessive speeding.
The road traffic accident RTA that occurred on 9th October 2021 along Great North Road at Chingwere Turnoff area in Lusaka has left many Zambians shaken as RTAs caused by excessive speeding continue to be on the rise despite authorities cautioning against this vice and punishing perpetrators so as to deter would-be offenders. Zambia police spokesperson Mr. Ray Hamonga in a statement explained that the accident occurred when the driver of a truck swerved to the right side lane to avoid colliding with the hearse that had wrongfully changed lanes and in the process lost control of the truck, crossing to the opposite lane, thereby colliding with the Rosa bus. In another statement released Monday, Mr. Hamonga states that the driver of the truck who was on the run has been apprehended. The police spokesperson further adds that 1 more death has been recorded, bringing the total number of deaths to 10. Zambian Road Safety Trust Chairman Mr. Daniel Mwamba has called for more funding to road safety, stating that the number of RTAs is disheartening. Records from the Zambia police show that a total of 937 deaths were recorded in the first and second quarter of 2021 from RTAs, mainly due to excessive speeding.
The investment in road safety, even less than 1 billion, can save numerous lives. In terms of the accidents that happened 2 days ago, which there's been some investigation that there was an element of overspeeding by the drivers. We know for sure with the data that overspeeding is one of the major causes of road traffic accidents. And we don't have strong measures in place that can stop this. We had the police using these speed traps, cameras which are mobile speeds, and then we had rats at one time implemented the speed cameras. All these things haven't worked.
Mr. Mwamba further adds that while the removal of some roadblocks was done with good intentions, there is need to rethink this stance, stating that many drivers are becoming difficult to monitor.
The removal of roadblocks has caused, of course, the rationale behind the moving of roadblocks is that there was so much corruption, which everybody knows about from the Zambia police. But this should not be an excuse that will allow innocent people to die. So they should come up with serious measures, and we as an NGO with the expertise and we can provide necessary support to ensure that we use all other means necessary to save lives.
Meanwhile, the Zambia Road Safety Trust has launched the first ever 3D zebra crossing along Independence Avenue in Lusaka in conjunction with the Lusaka City Council LCC, aimed at testing the observance of motorists in a bid to safeguard pedestrians. Zipora Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
In a quest to stir value addition in the country, a Zambian entrepreneur has embarked on a milestone project of producing cooking oil from maize in line with government's commitment to encourage value addition. Midland Zambia Petroleum Chief Executive Officer Charles Mvula says the initiative will help farmers benefit by earning more from their produce. Mr. Mvula explains that they will be buying a 50-kilogram bag of maize at 200 kwacha compared to the 150 kwacha being offered by the Food Reserve Agency. He has since called on the government through various ministries to come on board and support the initiative through partnership to deliver on the job creation agenda in the country.
Maize is Zambia's staple food, but for years, value addition has only been limited to mealie meal production for nshima, which is a daily meal in Zambian households. Maize is produced in huge quantities. This year is no exception. However, some maize ended up going to waste as the Food Reserve Agency cannot afford to buy everything. However, an edible oil processing company, Midland Zambia Malawi Petroleum, has started making cooking oil and maize cake out of maize. Company Chief Executive Officer Charles Mvula believes this is a sure way of empowering farmers and citizens in general.
We are going to be extracting cooking oil from maize. That is strange, but it will really have an impact on the Zambian market. Because one, will create jobs for the outgrowers, and two, even the old people in the villages, they'll still have money because they will have to sell the maize to mid-oils under Midlands Petroleum, Midlands Zambia Petroleum oils. The outgrowers and other people, not only outgrowers, they will be selling to us, then us will be processing at added value. Then
he has expressed willingness to work with the New Dawn government to help create employment for young people and women by replicating the cooking oil units in all the 10 provinces if the government comes on board.
It's up to the government to come through, because them, as they will initiate, they'll take time. Because in initiating, the people that they were saying, they may not have passion, but here is a company that has got passion already, that we can do this. Then it's the government say, how do we work together?
And Midlands Operations Manager Alexander Lungu tells Camnet News that the company will introduce an outgrower scheme targeting 10,000 farmers.
In the first 3 months, we are hoping to at least have 10,000 farmers across the country.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Because we understand maize is easier to grow, so we want to encourage as many people to grow it, so that when we buy from them at 200 kwacha, they can use that money which they receive to create other businesses, meaning we are indirectly creating jobs towards that.
This news comes as a great surprise to farmers.
Pasa mpamvu yolima chifukwa mukaganizira kwambiri muzapeza kuti mumakomboni mwambiri mumanyumba mafamu mwambiri milisi kalimo haifare baragula milisi ngono kwambiri koma bakamba kuti pamene tisankala mugulu yawo ngati talima bazamba kugula libeve futi ndipo nso mtengo ye bazamba kugulira hapo bakamba kuti bazamba kugula 200 bazakula hapo bali uzamene bazamba kugula ba FRA tantauza kuti nitandizo lali kuru kwambiri.
Chipata District Farmers Association Coordinator Vigil Malambo has held the firm for taking a proactive role to promote value addition to maize.
This is a very exciting development which we have always been desiring to have. You know, value addition is very critical in the agriculture sector because one, it helps to provide a market for the farmers. Then secondly, it also creates job opportunities for the youths and the women.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
A state witness has testified before the Lusaka High Court that during the announcement of results for the Mandevo Area Member of Parliament winner at Mandevo Turtling Center, the returning officer from Electoral Commission of Zambia announced wrong results which caused a commotion at the center. This is in a matter in which the Mandevu losing UPND candidate Aaron Mulope is challenging the election of PF's Christopher Shakafuswa, seeking a nullification of the results, a recount among other claims. Pamela Mkuka, who was an election observer for Mr. Aaron Mulope, told the court that the returning officer announced that Mr. Christopher Shakafuswa had 335 votes, while Mr. Mulope had 185 votes, which was contrary to what their G20 reflected.
The hearing petition of Lusaka's Mandevu parliamentary election was on Monday morning quite peaceful and calm compared to the confusion that was witnessed last week Friday, after one of the Patriotic Front cadres was beaten by UPND cadres who they had accused of murder.
This chapter is a criminal.
As the petition continues, the court this morning heard testimony from Pamela Mukaka, who was an election observer for Mandevu UPND losing candidate Aaron Mulope, that she filmed a video which showed confusion that occurred at Mandevu Totaling Center on the 14th of August 2021 during the announcement of results. The said video was this morning produced as evidence before court, testifying in a case where Mandevu losing UPND candidate Aaron Mulope is challenging the election of PF's Christopher Shakafuswa, seeking a nullification of the results, a recount among other claims. Mukuka explained that the confusion occurred after a returning officer from the Electoral Commission of Zambia announced results which were contrary to their G20. She narrated that the ECZ returning officer announced that Mr. Shakafuswa had obtained 335 votes and Mr. Mulope had obtained 185 votes, when in actual fact it was supposed to be the other way around. She reiterated during her testimony that PF cadres started beating people randomly after the confusion started and some ballot boxes were taken out of the center. Mr. Shakafuswa, who is the Mandevu area member of parliament, obtained 56,527 votes, while Mr. Mulope obtained 37,644 votes in one of the most densely populated constituencies of Lusaka. In his petition, Mr. Mulope is alleging that the campaigns and the elections were characterized by violence and other illegal practices. The petition hearing continues before court. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
In other news, Green Party President Peter Sinkamba has called on President Hakainde Hichilema to consider pardoning the over 7,000 prisoners charged with offences related to cannabis. The Green Party president says cannabis offences are typically victimless offences that do not involve any victim, as is the case with murder or manslaughter. Meanwhile, Mr. Sinkamba has appealed to the government to expedite the process of enacting the remaining pieces of registration to enable the cultivation of cannabis for medicinal and industrial purposes. He says the cultivation of cannabis is a solution needed for the dismantling of the debt, which he says is now confirmed to be at $15 billion United States dollars.
To government to hasten the process of enacting the remaining pieces of legislation to enable the cultivation of cannabis for medicinal and industrial purposes to take off, specifically the seed regulations, the marketing regulations, and the action plan for the implementation of the program. Because really, we're looking at the debt situation, which is now being confirmed at $15 billion. We have to move very quickly to see how we can dismantle that debt. And truly, the medicinal cannabis agenda is the one which is likely to assist this country move forward in a more progressive manner. And also, as we are about to celebrate our independence, which is due in the next few days, we want to appeal to the president to consider releasing from prison, to pardon all those 7,000 plus prisoners who are there because of cannabis-related laws. You know, the prison today is full. Almost a third of the prison population is because of the cannabis offences.
Former Zambia Revenue Authority Commissioner General Kingsley Chanda has urged his successor Dingani Banda to support taxpayers in the country and respond to their expectations. Speaking in his farewell speech, Mr. Chanda says the taxpayers are the reason the authority exists and should be respected. And Mr. Chanda has encouraged his successor to look after his staff well and not victimize them. The former ZRA commissioner says supporting staff will make it easy for the new Commissioner General to deliver according to the expectations of the Zambian people.
Look after your staff very well. Don't victimize them. Counsel them, motivate them, and ensure that you further improve their conditions of service. Of course, those that are truant and fraudulent, help them out following the due disciplinary process. Over my tenure, I've improved ZRA conditions of service tremendously, but please better them as much as you can. When you do this, staff will in turn support you and you deliver your mandate. The second tool of instrument I'm leaving you is systems. Please continue with the digital agenda. Invest more in technology and simplify compliance requirements. Enhance our innovation center and our strategic partnership with the Copperbelt University. Here I have no doubt because this is your passion. The third instrument I'm leaving you is taxpayers. Harness them, support them, respond to expectations of our taxpayers and indeed other stakeholders. Respond to your parent ministry, to your donors, and other important stakeholders of this institution. Taxpayers are the reason ZRA exists. The fourth instrument of power I'm leaving you with is revenue, results, the bottom line. Make sure the other three instruments of power I've left you with help you to deliver the fourth one, revenues. Don't waste time on who likes you, who hates you, who said what when you are out of ZRA. That will drain you and result in negative energy. Forgive and forget. Focus on the bottom line. That is what the President will appreciate as a thank you to him for selecting you out of hundreds of capable Zambians.
Value addition prompts a Zambian firm to start extracting cooking oil from maize. Green Party asks President HH to pardon prisoners facing cannabis-related offences. Those were the headlines. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Good afternoon.